In the movie recap, genetic studies show that people can live up to 144 years. Proper diet, exercise, and parasites can increase life expectancy. During archaeological excavations, a parasitic organism is found in an ancient layer of earth, which can stop the aging process of its host. Dr. Hibara investigates the ancient creature further. Dr. Futaba comes to him, the owner of the large research laboratory Jimenez. He suggests experimenting on living humans to see how the parasite takes root in test subjects. Mr. Futaba makes it clear to Dr. Hibara that he cannot refuse this offer. Some time passes and the story takes us to a boarding school set up in the Jimenez laboratory. The school educates the most intelligent children in Japan. Their IQ reaches 150 points. After class, girlfriends Hikari and Yuri deliver betting and discuss their futures. Yuri asks her friend whose DNA she wants to get to change her genome. The girl herself admits it. He wants to get DNA from Maki, the prettiest and smartest student in school. On the other hand, Hikari does not share her friend's wish and does not want to change her DNA. From childhood, boarding school students are told about their fate. More than 30 years have passed since the discovery of the named parasitic organism, Soma. Thanks to human studies, it was found that the ancient organism affects the mitochondria of the host and changes the properties of vital cells. The parasite can stop aging and extend the host's lifespan to 144 years. After this discovery, scientists cloned Soma. It was decided to implant an ancient parasite only among selected citizens of Japan. People in excellent physical condition and with a high IQ. Jimenez boarding school students were separated from their parents as childoctorin and implanted Soma into their bodies. They have been ready for it ever since. They will have to dedicate the entire 144 years of their lives to work for their country. Hikari is the only one of the foster parents who does not agree with her fate. In her interview with Yuri, the girl remembers her father's stories about the world beyond the Jimenez walls. Their people can choose who they will love and what they will do. Hikari suggests that Yuri form alliance against the Somes, and her boyfriend, fascinated by tales of the single life, agrees. At night, Yuri tries to sneak into the boys' room to give Maki a love letter. An alarm goes off in the hallway and the girl is taken away by the dormitory security guard, and her letter falls into the hands of the teacher. The next day, Yuri is absent from class. The teacher tells the students that Yuri was stupid and it shouldn't happen again. After these words, Maki laughs in agreement. Hikari is outraged that the boy mocks his girlfriend's feelings, who is in love with him. She rages at Maki, but her teacher stops her. After class, Hikari comes to visit her friend in the hospital room. Yuri says that she is forced to express regret for her actions every day and takes many pills. The girl wonders if Maki hates her after what happened. So as not to offend his friend, Hikari has to lie that the guy is worried about her. Yuri asks her friend if she is thinking of forming an alliance against Soma. The girl admits to Hikari that she doesn't feel like she's living her own life. Hikari hugs her friend and tells her that she believes they can get out. A few days later, Yuri returns to his studies. A happy Hikari runs to greet her friend, but he pays no attention to her. He is standing in line for food with other students. An emotional expression. Hikari tries to reach her friend and asks her about theirs alliance. Yuri pretends not to understand what the girl is talking about and continues the line. Hikari realizes that her friend has been brainwashed and is now alone in her fight against Jimenez's control. The girl steals some bedding and ties the pieces of cloth into a rope. He ties one piece of rope to the pipe and the other to the Soma parasite on his back. Hikari jumps off her chair and uses the rope to pull the parasite off of her, screaming in pain. Mr. Futaba meets Dr. Hibara again and tells him what happened to Hikari. For the first time in 30 years of experiments on living people, the host decides to get rid of it. Ancient parasite on his body. This incident bothers Jimenez, so the man asks Dr. Hibara to influence the girl to change her mind about Soma as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Hikari is sent to a hospital room where she is forced to take medicine. Knowledge, considering how the drugs affected Yuri's mind. The girl only pretends to swallow the pills. Hikari arrives for her first appointment with Dr. Hibara. A man tries to make a girl like him and says he will help her heal her mind. Hikari looks around to see her teacher and Dr. Futaba. He watched them carefully. The girl refuses to talk and Hibara suggests that she continue another time. The doctor asks the owner of Jimenez to meet with Hikari alone in her room. The girl can relax and open up. The only thing Futaba cares about is that Hikari agrees to take over Soma again. The man therefore makes concessions and allows the doctor to speak to the girl alone. Dr. Hibara tries to talk to Hikari again and this time the girl answers him. The man assures the student that she will get well soon and return to her friends. Hikari says, the doctor, that he no longer has any friends. Then the man asks the girl to tell him what he needs, make her feel better. Hikaru admits that he wants to see the world beyond the Haminas. Mr. Futaba watched their conversation on a video camera. He allows Dr. Habar to take the girl out of the boarding school. After the walk, the doctor takes the girl to his home. She asks the man to read it, a bedtime story her father read her as a child. While listening to the story, the girl peacefully falls asleep on the doctor's shoulder. After covering the girl with a blanket, the man hastily begins collecting canned goods and water bottles in the travel bag. His packing is interrupted by Mr. Futaba, who comes to his house unannounced. He tells the doctor that he has made up his mind to personally come for Hikari and make sure nothing happened to her. Mr. Futaba thinks that Hikari is the perfect specimen for research, so he plans to implant Soma directly into the girl's spinal cord so that in the future, she won't be able to cut the parasite off again. At a loss, Dr. Habara asks his superior when he plans to implant the parasite, but Mr. Futaba rudely interrupts him. He reminds the doctor that he has to do Hikari, realizing all the benefits of Soma, and advises the man to do his work. The scream of the man wakes up Hikari. He looks at the doctor in horror and realizes that he cannot escape his cruel fate. The next day, Hikari lies in her room awaiting surgery to implant the parasite. Dr. Habara, hiding his face behind a mask, walks up to her. He tells the girl that the big world outside can hurt an unprepared person like her, but it would also be wrong for anyone but herself to control her life. The doctor removes his hospital gown and Hikari sees that he too has Soma implanted inside him. The man says he doesn't want the girl to suffer like he did. The doctor hides the girl in a dirty laundry cart and sneaks her off the platform. School. There, Habaru's friends will wait for Hikari and take the girl away from Haminas. At the end of the movie, we are shown Hikari's memories of the day she was allowed to go outside the boarding school with Dr. Habaru. They went to have fun, a park where they rode the merry-go-round and had fun. Then Hikari confessed to the doctor that she finally realized the freedom her father had told her about as a child. It was these memories that helped Hikari decide to run away from the boarding school she hated, to experience freedom again. And the same walk prompted Dr. Habar to go against Haminas and help free the girl from the clutches of the evil corporation. And here the film recap ends.